Hi, my name is Sander Ressler, and welcome to the third edition of Nightmare on Compliance Street. This is where I leverage my 30 plus years of experience in compliance and supervision to address the scariest and toughest compliance questions that Wealth Solutions Report readers submit to me. Since the launch of Nightmare on Compliance Street, I've had lots and lots of emails from Wealth Solutions Report readers, and I'd like to say thank you so much for submitting your questions. We have two questions this week to go over, so let's get started. Number one, Sander, I am a registered representative with a bad credit rating stemming from a past medical issue. I want to buy a new house, but I can't get a mortgage with my current credit. My best friend, who is also a client of the firm, wants to co-sign the mortgage loan for me. I know that I can't borrow money from a client, but technically co-signing a loan isn't borrowing money, and having a client co-sign a loan isn't mentioned in our written supervisory procedures. Sander, should I bring this to the attention of my supervisor or the compliance department for approval? Or should I just get the mortgage in the house and plead ignorance later if this is ever discovered? You're correct that borrowing money from a client is a prohibited act by FINRA, but I'm also not surprised that your written supervisory procedures don't address this matter. After all, having a client co-sign on a loan is not borrowing money in the traditional sense. However, you are treading in potentially murky regulatory territory, so I advise you to speak with your supervisor in your compliance department to gain some clarity on this issue. That being said, there is a more important issue at stake that warrants further discussion. While the old cliche that it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission may be true elsewhere, it is certainly not true in the securities industry. Just ask the skeletal friends behind me who went up against FINRA on a similar issue, and they'll tell you what happened to them. If there's a compliance issue that you need clarity on, get it from your firm up front and don't ignore it. If there's an investigation on this issue down the road, you will have the reasonable justification that you are following the advice of your compliance department. If you don't raise the issue and proceed anyway, you have absolutely nothing to fall back on. This could result in a barrage of unsavory regulatory consequences that no one wants to experience at any point in their career. One of my guiding principles is always to protect yourself in this business and don't try to interpret rules on your own. You may regret it. Okay, let's move on to question number two. Sander, I am a registered representative with clients who are calling me nonstop to express their exuberant interest in investing in cryptocurrencies, which you probably know is a hot topic in the industry right now. My firm prohibits recommending investments in cryptocurrencies, but my clients want my advice. What should I do? Well, number one, thank you for the question, and this is a hot topic. Full disclosure, I'm not an expert on cryptocurrencies, and I suspect that there's very few people that actually are. That being said, you don't have to be an expert to see that the public is responding to the buzz around cryptocurrencies, and many investors are experiencing a fear of missing out on the next big thing. Common sense dictates that this is not a recipe for knowledge-based investing. This is gambling, pure and simple. As a registered representative, your job is to understand an investment so you can make a reasonable evaluation on whether it's a good investment for your client's needs and goals. Your firm's prohibitions aside, unless your client has an investment goal of speculation and is willing to lose a large part of their principal, they should steer clear from investing in cryptocurrencies. If they want to gamble their money away, I suggest they take a flight to Las Vegas where the odds are better known, and certainly the games are easier to understand. Anyway, that's a wrap for today. Until next month's Nightmare on Compliance Street, this is Sander Ressler reminding our readers that there are no bad questions, just bad behaviors. I encourage you to keep submitting your questions anonymously, and thank you again for joining me here.